Imagine this: Iran's allies are striking deeper into Israeli territory, and Hezbollah has just appointed a new leader after a devastating Israeli attack. With tensions at an all-time high, the Middle East is on the brink of yet another explosive conflict. But is this change of leadership a sign of power or vulnerability for Hezbollah? And what does Israel's vow to dismantle Hezbollah rocket by rocket mean for the future of the region? Let's break down the critical developments that have led us here and what might lie ahead. To understand the current situation, we need to consider the broader context of Middle Eastern conflicts, a history filled with decades of tension, wars, and shifting political alliances. Israel and its regional neighbors, especially Iran and its proxies like Hezbollah, have long been locked in a fierce struggle for dominance. Now, with the death of Hezbollah's longtime leader Hassan Nasrallah and the rise of his successor, Naim Qassem, the stakes are even higher. A source article from Al Jazeera provides crucial insight. Hezbollah names Naim Qassem as new chief to replace Nasrallah. Following Nasrallah's death in an Israeli airstrike on September 29, 2024, Hezbollah swiftly appointed Naim Qassem as its new leader. Qassem, who had been Nasrallah's deputy and a prominent figure within Hezbollah for over 30 years, is now tasked with leading the organization amid heightened conflict with Israel. As detailed in AP News, Hezbollah cleric Naim Qassem picked to supplant the Lebanese militant group. This leadership transition is critical, as it signifies Hezbollah's determination to maintain its aggressive stance against Israel, with Qassem pledging to carry forward Nasrallah's policies until victory is achieved. However, some analysts argue that Qassem may not hold the same charismatic power that Nasrallah did. According to Reuters, Hezbollah names Naim Qassem as new leader. Israel says he won't last long. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant suggested that Qassem's leadership might be short-lived, viewing him as a temporary leader amid continuous Israeli operations targeting Hezbollah. In his public addresses, Qassem has reiterated Hezbollah's commitment to resisting Israeli forces, despite the group's recent heavy losses, including senior officials killed in Israeli airstrikes. This persistent leadership vow suggests that Hezbollah is not backing down and remains committed to its long-term strategy. Tweet integration from X, formerly Twitter, Israel's official account, posted a stark warning. "We will not rest until Hezbollah is dismantled rocket by rocket, terrorist by terrorist." The escalation continues as Israel bolsters its military strategy. Recent actions include strikes in southern Lebanon and northern Gaza aimed squarely at Hezbollah's infrastructure. In an address to Israeli media, Defense Minister Gallant labeled Qassem's appointment a temporary one, underscoring Israel's intention to challenge Hezbollah's leadership wherever possible. Our next reference is from the Times of Israel article, Gallant on New Hezbollah Leader, Temporary Appointment, Not for Long. This view aligns with Israel's long-standing commitment to dismantling Hezbollah, especially with recent reports indicating heavy casualties and disrupted communications within Hezbollah ranks. Galant's remarks reflect Israel's broader operational outlook to weaken Hezbollah's military capabilities and sever its connections to Iranian influence. The Money Control article Israel-Hamas warnings live. Israel issues warning as Hezbollah gets a new leader sheds more light on this escalation, noting that recent Israeli airstrikes have targeted known Hezbollah strongholds, signaling a no-tolerance approach to Hezbollah's new leadership. In a surprising move, reports surfaced that Hezbollah's new leader, Naim Qassem, had fled Lebanon for Tehran shortly after his appointment, citing security concerns due to Israeli assassination threats. The Times of Israel reports Hezbollah deputy leader Naim Qassem fled Lebanon and is now living in Tehran. This decision highlights the immense pressure on Hezbollah's leadership and Iran's role in providing a refuge for its key allies. The relationship between Iran and Hezbollah is foundational. Hezbollah acts as Iran's armed proxy in Lebanon, which gives Iran strategic leverage over Israel without directly involving itself militarily. With Qassem now reportedly in Tehran, Iran's hand in the conflict has become more visible. This raises questions about the extent of Iran's involvement in Lebanon's internal conflicts and the implications for regional stability, as Tehran appears poised to protect its key proxies from Israeli retaliation. The situation has also had severe consequences for Lebanon's civilian population, who are caught in the crossfire. As Hezbollah and Israel continue their exchanges of fire, casualties mount, causing significant displacement and humanitarian challenges. Lebanon's current political atmosphere is tense, with mixed feelings about Hezbollah's helm in conflicts that often result in civilian losses. ABC News highlights these civilian impacts in Lebanon's Hezbollah says it has chosen Naim Qassem as its new leader after the killing of Hassan Nasrallah. Public opinion is reportedly divided in Lebanon as the escalation with Israel deepens. With Hezbollah's aggressive response to Israeli strikes, the civilian cost is becoming increasingly apparent, and many Lebanese are wary of being pulled into a broader conflict. As tensions rise, so too does the call for diplomatic intervention to prevent further suffering and displacement within Lebanon. The international community has voiced increasing concerns over the escalation. Recently, UN peacekeeping troops, UNIFIL, stationed in Lebanon were caught in the crossfire, with reports indicating injuries from stray rocket attacks. The Times of Israel article notes in Gallant on new Hezbollah leader, temporary appointment, not for long, that the geopolitical dynamics are complex, with heightened tensions between Israel, Hezbollah, and Iranian interests. Additionally, Israel's Defense Minister Gallant commented on social media through 24 News that the countdown has begun for Qassem's leadership, reflecting Israel's continued commitment to challenging Hezbollah's influence in Lebanon. This, coupled with Manny Fabian's tweet confirming Qassem's succession of Nasrallah, shows the serious stance Israel is taking in response to Hezbollah's evolving structure. As we've seen, the appointment of Naim Qassem as Hezbollah's new leader has added further volatility to an already unstable zone. With both sides unwilling to compromise and international attention mounting, the situation remains precarious. Hezbollah's persistence in its long-standing mission against Israel, now potentially reinforced by Qassem's Tehran connection, could signal an even more intense phase of conflict. In the coming months, all eyes will be on the region as these developments unfold. The question remains, will this intensified leadership transition lead to a temporary flare-up, or are we witnessing the beginning of a much larger confrontation? If you found this breakdown informative and want to stay updated on the latest Middle East developments, subscribe to USA Affairs and enable notifications for more in-depth analysis on key global issues.